Hello students, welcome to class 11 physics class. In last class we started a new chapter that motion in a plane, and in last class we discussed three rules of vector addition: triangle law, parallelogram law and polygon law, and two properties of vector addition, that is vector addition is commutative and vector addition is associative. So related to that laws and that two properties, today we discuss some numericals, then we start a new topic about this chapter, that means related to vector later. So first we discuss some numericals related to that laws. Okay, because we already know that from parallelogram law and from the triangle law, we get two formulas. One for the magnitude of the resultant vector, another one is a direction. And we get the same formula. It's a derivation, the way of the derivation for both cases are different, but ultimately whatever the main expression to find out the magnitude, it will be same. That is r equals to root over of a square plus b square to ab cos theta. Okay. So let's start today's topic or today's first numericals related to that formulas. So first numerical, two vectors both equal in magnitude. Two vectors are there, but both are same in magnitude. Magnitude is same. Have their resultant equal in magnitude, and the resultant magnitude also equal with them. What we find out? We find out the angle between that two vectors. Okay. So we consider the two vectors are P and Q, because it is mentioned over there that two vectors are equal in magnitude. So we can write P equals to Q, and the resultant vector of P and Q is R, and the magnitude of R is also equal to P and Q. So we can also write P equals to Q equals to R. It is given. So we use the formula to find out the magnitude of resultant, that is R equals to root over of a square plus b square plus 2ab cos theta. So in place of A and B, we put P and Q. After that, in place of P and Q, because P equals to Q equals to R, so in place of Q and in place of R, we put P. So after solving this steps, after simplification, we get cos theta equals to cos 120 degree and theta equals to 120 degree. So this theta is the angle between that two vectors P and Q. So like this way we can easily find out the angle between two vectors, but for this you have to remember that law. Clear? Second number. Two forces whose magnitude are in the ratio of 3:5 give a resultant of 35 Newton. If the angle of inclination be 60 degree, calculate the magnitude of each other. Clear? So two vectors are there, they are in ratio 3:5. So we know that if any numericals are in ratio, so when we consider them as separate, so we use another one term, either ax or y. So here also we consider two vectors P and Q. So P equals to 3x, Q equals to 5x. What is given? The resultant is given. Resultant of that two vectors, force vector, that is 35 Newton. It is given, and theta, the angle between them, also given. So we use the same formula, R equals to root over of P square plus Q square plus 2PQ cos theta. Now in place of P we put 3x, in place of Q we put 5x, and in place of theta we put 60 degree, and in place of R, because R value is given 35, we put this values. After simplification, after solving this new equation, we get x equals to 5. X equals to 5. So because we consider that p equals to 3x, so after putting the value of x, so we get p equals to 15 Newton and q equals to 25 Newton. So the magnitude of both forces are one is a 15 Newton, another one is a 25 Newton. Okay. Next, third number. Find the angle between two vectors p and q. If resultant of the vectors is given by r square equals to p square plus q square. It is given the expression of resultant, no value is given, just expression is given that r square equals to p square plus q square. We find out the angle between two vectors. So two vectors are p and q, and we consider the theta be the angle between them. So we use the same magnitude formula, r equals to root under p square plus q square plus 2pq cos theta. If we squaring both sides, so we get x square r square equals to p square plus q square plus 2pq cos theta. Now in place of r square, because r square value is given, that is p square plus q square. So p square plus q square, that is equals to p square plus q square plus 2pq cos theta. After solving these things, we get theta equals to cos theta equals to 0. So 0 means cos 90. So theta equals to 90 degree. So the angle between that two vectors p and q is 90 degree. That means then these two vectors are perpendicular to each other. Clear? So this type of numericals will come. That's simple. Just you remember, if you remember this new formula of magnitude, mainly maximum formula numericals is related to magnitude. Very less to find out the direction, then we use a tan theta. Okay, that tan theta or tan beta in place. In case of a parallelogram, we find out the tan beta, that b sin theta by a plus b cos theta, or tan phi equals to b sin theta by a plus b cos theta. So we can easily, if you theta is given, then and the vectors values given, then we can easily find out the direction. Okay, so here I will give some assignment, some numericals. Try to solve in your home. If you have any problem, please write in a comment box that this numerical I have problem. So in next video I will solve that problem. So here 7 numericals are there. This is 2 and this are the other 5, and answer also I will write. If you have any problem, any difficulty, if you facing the problem to solve this numericals, please inform me, or please write in a comment box this assignment number, this number numerical I have problem. So in next video I will solve that numerical and I will explain also. Then we start the next topic for next class, that means in next class. Okay. Okay, so now today's topic, that is resolution of a vector. Resolution means splitting up a vector, or a vector will broken in two or many parts, two or more vectors. This process, it is a process. Resolution of a vector is a process of splitting a vector into two or more vectors in such a way that their combined effect is same as that of the given vector. That means, if suppose one example, 5 equals to what we can write? 4 plus 1, 3 plus 2. We can write this. So 5 is resolved to between two small numbers. Always whatever we consider, that will smaller than the 5, because 3 plus 2, 3 also and 2 also smaller than the 5. 4 plus 1, 4 and 1 smaller than the 5. Okay, so this 5 is splitted in between two smaller number, that is either 3 or 2, either 4 or 4 and 1. So but their combined effect, combined means addition. Okay, if we add that two small values, we get the ultimate value. Suppose if you consider 3 and 2, so 3 plus 2, combined effect 3 plus 2, what we get? 5. So 5 can be resolved in between 3 and 2, and if we combine 3 and 2, we ultimately get the same value. Like similarly, in same way, if any vector is given Then we main problem, because in 3D or in 2D we use the two xy coordinate, xyz coordinate. So if any vector makes with angle with any axis, so it is difficult for us to solve some numericals. Okay, mainly for solving the numericals we resolve the vector along the axis. Okay, so that vector, whatever the given vector, that will be resolved along either two axes or the three axes, whatever is given. If x and y is given, then it will be resolve along x and y. If x, y, z, then resolve along x, y and z. Clear? But whatever the components we choose, after adding that components we get the same vector. If suppose p vector is there, along x-axis if we consider its component is px, and along y-axis its component is py. So after combining that two components, px plus py, that will gives us the main vector value magnitude, actually the magnitude. After addition means what we add, we did not p vector plus q vector, we cannot write the p plus 2pq or anything is there. Okay, so that means the magnitude we added, the magnitude of px and py, px plus py, we get the same magnitude of the vector p. Here, so like this way, here you see that two axes we consider, because 2D here this chapter is a motion in a plane, so 2D is there, so that's why we consider x and y. If you when you studied in 3 dimension, you use 3x, y and z coordinates. So we considered any vector, this is not a position vector. Okay, we considered any vector that is r can be resolved into two components. So it can be resolved in two axes, one is a horizontal axis, one is a vertical axis, because y is a vertical and x is the horizontal axis. So this r vector can be resolved in two components, one is a horizontal component that is along x axis, another one is a vertical component that is along the y axis. So we consider that along the horizontal axis, that will be RV, that RV, and the vertical one, that is RH. Okay, RV and RH. So we can write RV equals to RV into I hat, and RH equals to RH into RJ, J hat, RH into J hat. So what is the meaning of this? R vector equals to RV vector, that is equals to RV into I hat, and RH equals to RH into J hat, because we know that vector quantity means both those quantity having magnitude as well as a direction. So any vector quantity we can write like this way: RV vector, that is equals to RV into I hat, because RV is directed along x axis only. So only RV that represent the magnitude of RV vector, and I hat, it is represent the direction of RV vector, that is along the x axis. And we also, when we studied the unit vector, we also discussed this thing. The unit vector gives us the direction. Same way, RH vector equals to RH into J vector. RH gives the magnitude of RH vector, and J hat or J cap, that will gives us the direction of RH vector, that is towards the y axis or y direction. So any vector we can write like this way with their magnitude and the unit vector. Okay, the meaning is same. One is represent the magnitude, another one represent its direction. So after that, whenever we solve, sometimes we also neglect this unit vector term, but it is important. Okay, when you solve the numericals, it is keep it in your mind, because when numericals are in terms of I hat, J hat, K hat, like this way. So don't hesitate or don't confuse what is the I hat, J hat. This I hat, J hat are the unit vectors, or it's the direction vector, gives us the direction along x and y axis, and this vector is also called orthogonal vectors. And whenever we find out the magnitude of that, the value of RV, only the RV, so we use the modulus sign. So modulus of unit vector, unit, its magnitude is unit. Unit means 1. So mod of I cap or j cap or k cap, that also be 1. So whenever we find out the magnitude of vector, so if I term is there, I cap, j cap, k cap term is there, then it will be converted to 1, because modulus of orthogonal vectors or the unit vector is 1. That's why they are called unit vector. Unit means 1, its magnitude is 1. They only gives us the direction of that particular vector. Clear? So this R vector can be resolved along two components. One is a x-axis, that is RV, and another one is a y-axis, that is RH. The x component and this y components, when we resolve in x and y component, this you see that this x and y, or if you draw the z axis also, that three axes are perpendicular to each other. Here also, if we because we use the two axes x and y, so x and y always perpendicular to each other, so we can say that this two components also be perpendicular to each other. So this x component and y component are perpendicular to each other. These components are called rectangular components of vector. These are called rectangular component of vector. Clear? These are called the rectangular component of vector. So when we solve some numericals, then you can understand, because in rectangular component in vector, either we use x and y for 2D or x, y and z. So this x, when we resolve this one any vector along this axis, so we use ax, ay, az or bx, by, bz along with I cap, j cap, k cap. So that's why these are called the rectangular component of vector. Rectangular component of vector. Okay. Next, method of resolving a vector into rectangular component. So in this figure, you see that we considered any velocity vector, that is v, and it will be represented by OA. Okay, and it will be resolved along two axes, two components. One is along x-axis, that is Vx, another one along y-axis, that is Vy. Now here in this figure, you see that if we use the dotted line, so AB, that is equals to OY. So this, if AB equals to Vy vector, then OY equals to also Vy. Okay, and if OB equals to Vx, then the upper line, that YA, if we denoted by y that line, so that is also Vx. So we can say that the vector V, it's resolved along two axes, along two components. One is a Vx vector, another one is a Vy vector. So the combined effect of Vx and Vy, we get the same magnitude of that vector V. Now from point A, we draw a perpendicular, that is AB, on the x-axis, which is parallel to the vector OA is parallel to the x-axis, and vector BA is parallel to the y-axis. So OB represent the Vx vector and AB represent the Vy vector. Now the sum of this vector is equal to the vector V, the magnitude. Sum means the magnitude. So Vx, we can write Vx equals to horizontal component of V, Vy is the vertical component of V. Now we find out the magnitude of horizontal component and the vertical component. So how we find out? Using the triangle law. That means not the triangle law, that means the concept of right angle triangle, sorry. So from this right angle triangle, that is OAB, we find out the horizontal component, that is Vx. Okay, and we consider that OA is represent the velocity vector which makes an angle theta with the x-axis. So consider the right angle triangle OAB. So cos theta equals to what we can write? OB by OA. OB by OA, base by hypotenuse. Now if we put the values over there, OB equals to OA cos theta. OB represent Vx vector, that is equals to OA. OA means V vector cos theta. Here we use the magnitude modulus sign. That's why modulus of Vx vector, that is equals to only Vx. That's why we write V cos theta. Don't use the vector sign over there. Vx within modulus you use the vector sign, that is equals to, when you write the magnitude of Vx, that is only Vx, that is Vx equals to V cos theta, because OA represent the magnitude V vector and the magnitude of V vector is only V, that's why V cos theta. This is the magnitude of horizontal component. So Vx equals to V cos theta. Magnitude of vertical component, same way, vertical component means Vy, so sin theta equals to AB by OA, AB by OA, and AB represent Vy vector, OA represent V vector. So we can write, so that's why here we did not use the modulus sign, no, not the vector sign. So Vy equals to what we can write, V sin theta, or if we use the modulus sign, so modulus of Vy vector, that is equals to V sin theta, like this way. So we can write V vector, that is equals to modulus of Vx vector plus Vy vector. So any vector can be write like this way, Vx into I hat plus Vy into j hat. If because we use the modulus sign, so I vector and j vector will be 1. So Vx value we get V cos theta, Vy value we get V sin theta. So we can write, actually we use also modulus sign, right left hand the LHS term, that V vector there also we use the modulus sign. So modulus of V vector, that is equals to V cos theta plus V sin theta. The next topic is addition of vectors by rectangular method, rectangular component method. Rectangular component, already we discussed that x and y, okay. So rectangular component method of addition of vector is the simplest method to add a number of vectors acting in different direction, because this resolution vectors, the resolution vector is just the opposite to the process of vector addition. It does not mean that it already started with from origin in any direction. We can resolve the vectors, the given vector, okay. So the addition of vectors by rectangular component method. So how we can use that, what is that method? Let's see these two figure, x and y coordinate axis. One is, the first one is a v1 vector, second one is a v2 vector. V1 vector makes theta 1 angle with the horizontal, and v2 vector makes theta 2 angle with the horizontal. Their direction also different. You see that the inclination theta value is also different for both cases. So first we consider this two, that v1 and v2 making angles theta 1 and theta 2 with the positive x-axis. Now first step, we resolve v1 into two rectangular components, that is one v1x, another one is v1y. We know this like this way. First we resolve these two, and v1x equals to what we can write, v1 cos theta. From here vx equals to v cos theta, so v1x equals to v1 cos theta, and v1y equals to v1 sin theta 1. So v1x equals to v1x and v1y are the two rectangular components of vector v1, and v1x magnitude of, because that's why we did not use the vector sign. So v1x, that is equals to v1 cos theta 1, and v1y, that is equals to v1 sin theta 1. Step 2, same as the second figure, also we resolve along two axes, that is v2x and v2y. So v2x equals to v2 cos theta 2, v2y equals to v2 sin theta 2. Now step 3, we shift the second vector, that means we use only one diagram, but in one diagram we represent that two vectors together. That means we parallelly we shift the second vector in like this way, that its initial position, initial point lies on the terminal point or the final point on the of the vector v1. Let's see this figure like this way. Parallelly we shift that v2 vector. So like that figure, that is a theta 2, this is theta 1, and total angle that with the resultant, that is theta. v1x, cd is represent cd, that cd represent all the v2x vector, and bd represent v2y, sorry not bd represent the, not bd, be represent v2y, okay. So just two diagrams we combine with one. Clear this vector? Okay, now here also I will draw this diagram. Now OA and AB. In this figure, OA and AB represented two vectors VA and V2, V1 and V2. Now we join O and B. So you see that if we join O and B, this OB gives us a resultant vector of V1 and V2. So now if we forget that no V1, no V2 is there, only one vector is there, that is R1, OB. So now this R1 also resolved along two axes, along x-axis and along y-axis, vertical component and the horizontal component. So along x-axis that will be Rx, it's represented by OD, and along y-axis it is Ry, it's represented by BD or DB. So OD represent Rx and BD represent Ry, the two component of resultant vector R. Okay. So Rx vector equals to what? Rx vector, that is the horizontal vector, that is equals to what we can write? V1x plus V2x. See, our OD equals to what we can write? OC plus CD. OC means V1x and CD means V2x, parallel to AE. So AE is V2x, so CD also V2x. So Rx equals to what we can write? V1x plus V2x. Similarly, Ry equals to, that is DB or BD, that is equals to, we can write DE plus EB. DE plus EB. So DE is parallel to AC or CA, that is V1y. So DE value also V1y and BE value or EB value V2y. So V1y plus V2y. Ry equals to V1y plus V2y. Now V1x and V2x value already we find out, the step number 1 and 2. V1 cos theta 1, V2 cos theta 2 with I hat, because here we use a vector sign. That's why this represent V1 cos theta 1 plus V2 cos theta 2, that represent the magnitude of Rx, and I vector is along the x-axis, and Ry equals to V1 sin theta 1 plus V2 sin theta 2 into j hat, that is along y-axis. And the last step, now we determine the magnitude of this resultant vector. That's why, that means we use the modulus sign, and whenever we use the modulus sign, the modulus of I cap and j cap, that will be 1. So using the whole triangle, whole right angle triangle BOD equals to OB square equals to OD square plus DB square, we can write, and OD represent Rx and DB represent Ry. So because here we use the modulus sign, so no vector sign is there. OB is the resultant R, so R square equals to Rx square plus Ry square, or R equals to root under Rx square plus Ry square. So if from this formula we know the value of Rx, if we know the value of Rx and Ry, we put it over there, then we can easily find out the magnitude of resultant vector R. So the formula is R equals to, whenever we find out the magnitude of any two vectors or any vectors which resolve along two axes, we use this formula, R equals to root over of Rx square plus Ry square. When we solve some numericals, then your doubts, all doubts are clear, how we can use Rx and Ry. Okay. So because the vector, so that is a magnitude, so we also find out the direction. So from that triangle, tan angle BOD, that is equals to BD by OD. Tan means perpendicular by hypotenuse, and BD represent Ry, OD represent Rx, because we use the magnitude over there. That's why tan theta equals to Ry by Rx, theta equals to tan inverse Ry by Rx. So this gives us the direction of the resultant vector, magnitude and the direction. Okay. So these are the theory parts, how we can use, how the mathematical process. If you remember this formulas, this 4 formula, then you can easily solve any numericals. What are the formula we use to solve the numericals? First formula, any vector A vector is, you have suppose A vector. Now first you resolve, if you have 3 components, 3 axes x, y, z, then you resolve along 3 axes. If you have two axes, then you resolve along two axes only with their unit vectors. Suppose if you have the vector, that is if you have a vector and we resolve along three axes, that is ax, ay and az, along x axis, y axis, z axis, with their direction vector or unit vector, that is I cap, j cap and k cap. And if two axes are there, then only ax and ay. So how we can write a vector equals to ax I hat plus ay j hat plus az k hat. Their combined effect, that means addition of these three components, that is equal to the main vector, that is a. So for this is the for 3, if 3 is given, 3 axes are given, a vector equals to ax I hat, ay j hat, az k hat. If 2, a vector equals to ax I hat plus ay j hat. Now this ax, ay, az are the magnitude form. So how we find out the magnitude of a? So second formula gives us the magnitude. The magnitude of a vector, that is equals to, using this formula, r equals to rx square plus ry square, that means root under ax square plus ay square plus az square. If 2 is there, only x and y, then mod of a vector equals to, that means only a. That's why we use the modulus. Within modulus we use the a with vector sign. If you don't use the modulus sign, then only you can write a without vector sign, because this gives us the magnitude. A equals to root over of ax square plus ay square. How we can find out the unit vector? A unit vector is denoted by cap. So a cap, if suppose we consider this is the unit vector a cap, so a cap equals to a vector by its magnitude, vector by its magnitude. So a vector means ax I hat plus ay j hat plus az k hat divided by its magnitude. Already we get ax square plus ay square plus az square. As per our requirement, we resolve along that axis. If 3 is there, then 3 components. If 2 is there, then 2 components. And modulus of I cap, j cap, k cap, already we discussed. These are the modulus of unit vector gives us the unit. That's why they are called the unit vectors, or these are called the also called orthogonal vectors. Okay. Next we solve some problem. Okay. First problem, if a equals to a vector is given and b vector also given, what we find out? We find out a vector having same magnitude as v vector. That means whatever the vector we get from a combine of a and b, that magnitude is same for is equal to the magnitude of vector b, and parallel to a vector. Parallel to a vector, whenever this parallel term is there, parallel to this vector, that means it gives us the unit vector. Parallel to a vector, that means in the same direction of the a vector. That means if we find out the a hat or unit vector of that that given vector, that will be the parallel. So if parallel is there, parallel of that vector, so we find out the unit vector of that vector, because it's given here the parallel to a vector. That means we find out the unit vector of a. How we solve? First we find out the magnitude of a. A equals to modulus of a, that is equals to a square plus ay square, and ax I hat equals to 3 I hat, and ax equals to 3. Ax represent only 3, because a vector equals to ax into I hat plus ay into j hat. If we compare these two equation, then ax equals to, we get 3 and ay equals to 4. So we put it over there, we get the magnitude of a is 5. Similarly, we find out the magnitude of b, that is 25. But we find out the new vector, that is a combined effect of a and b, whose magnitude is same. That means it's 25, but it's parallel to a vector. That means we find out the unit vector, that is a cap, that is equals to a vector by modulus of a vector. We know this formula, and a vector is given 3 I hat plus 4 j hat, and a modulus of a we find out already, that is by 5. So the new vector that will be having same magnitude of b and parallel to a, that will be magnitude of b vector into a cap, magnitude of b vector into a cap. So magnitude of b vector means 25 into a cap value 1 by 5, 3 I hat plus 4 j hat. So we get 15 I hat plus 20 j hat. Like this way we can solve this problems. Next, number 2, find the unit vector parallel to the resultant. So we find out the unit vector of resultant because it is mentioned parallel to the resultant vector. A equals to this and B equals to this. So first of all, we know that resultant vector R vector is a combined effect of A and B. So R vector equals to A vector plus B vector. We put the values after subtraction or addition, whatever is there. After solving that, we get the R vector, that is equals to 4 I cap minus j cap minus k cap. We find out its magnitude, root over of rx square plus ry square plus rz square, because plus is there. Okay, that's why if we compare with rx I hat, ry z cap and rz k cap, we get rx equals to 4, ry equals to minus 1, because the formula is with plus, not with the minus. So we can write with the minus, we use the minus 1. Okay, so rx, that is 4 square, plus ry is minus 1 square, rz is minus 1 square. We get root over 18, that is 3 root 2. Then the unit vector parallel to resultant. So unit vector r cap equals to r vector by modulus of r vector. R vector value already we find out, 4 I cap minus j cap minus k cap by 3 root 2. Like this way we can solve this problem, or we can find out the magnitude of any vector, the result unit vector. Just you keep it in your mind, whenever it's given parallel to that vector, that means we find out the unit vector of that particular vector. Here, because here it mentioned parallel to the resultant vector, that's why we find out the unit vector of resultant vector. In this problem it is mentioned parallel to a vector, that's why we find out unit vector of a vector. Here also I will give 3 assignments, 3 numericals related to this resolving of a vector with this formula. Try to in your home. If you have any problem, then please mention over there with the assignment number. Otherwise, how can I understand which number? So assignment number this number you have problem. I will also write the answers also. Try to in your home. And if you are having any problem, any doubts related to this method of resolving a vector, rectangular component, magnitude, please write in a comment box. Have a nice day. Tata.